Yeah, man. It is the 16th of January, 2024. This is my first video of this year. Sorry to keep you guys waiting so long. Been very busy. Not exactly my favorite subject to talk about: gang stalking and broadcast torture. But unfortunately, these gang stalkers never quit with the broadcast torture. So I'm back again in 2024. Well, it's been so long that I've been on YouTube talking about this publicly. It's been so long, way even longer than the YouTube that these guys have been on my neural monitoring, on their little mind control headgear devices or whatever, on their little computer connections, doing this satellite broadcast stuff and acting like infatuated, obsessed weirdos. And it never stops. So I'd say 3 days, it's been slightly more brutal than usual on the torture side. So I figured it was about time to come back out and talk about it some more. So just for reference, the jawline and the neck, all through here, broadcast, penetrated all day, broadcast constantly, all stuff in my eyes, feeling like goo and spider webs and stuff all over my face and in my eyes, penetrated broadcast into my skull and my foot, to the point that it's like literally wanting my foot to curl up and causing me to walk funny. In just a matter of like 2 days, they can have me walking funny by putting broadcast into my foot. And it's like they brought some of their old buddies back on that are just angry and violent with broadcast. And that's just how they want to be. And it's what they feel makes them cool, I guess. I don't really know why they're so dumb. I can't explain it. It's very difficult for me to explain why they're so dumb. But that aside, welcome to 2024. Same stuff that's been going on for all these years, and a lot more people talking about it now, but still probably not enough. We're still the pioneers of this whole thing. But I would tell you about what the things that I've had going on. So just working and going to school and trying to study. Pretty much this is what I do every day. I work, and then I get off work and I study. And then I fall asleep, and maybe I watch a couple of videos or on some financial stuff or something like that. And then I fall asleep, and I wake up and I work, and then I study. Okay, I do assignments for my classes, and it's got to be getting boring for these gang stalkers to continue to watch my boring life. But it's a process, you know. I'm trying to get somewhere, and I can't really say that I don't enjoy it, because I kind of do enjoy it. You know, I think I'd rather be doing what I'm doing than what they're doing, for sure, or than some of the things that I've used to do, or anything else, really. Focus on my close family and the people who are close to me, and I'm focused on my future, and I'm focused on the long-term goals, and defeating gang stalking, and building our I don't even know what to call it. It's not really like we're building a case, but yeah, I guess a case, building my case, building my movement, building this movement against them, building our knowledge to be able to understand exactly how they do everything. It's very important, and I've taught a lot in the last couple years. I just started my 3rd year in college for computer science, and double majoring, and well, I haven't actually started the second one, but this is my plan, okay? Because I'm getting closer to being finished with the first degree of computer programming, and I'm also going to get a degree in cybersecurity. But along the way, the classes have started to become more advanced, and they're starting to mean something. So when you first start out, And so you understand, this is something that I believe is essential for the pathway to our freedom, the pathway to defeating these gang stalkers, these self-proclaimed gang stalkers that feel like they can get away with whatever they want to using this technology. You know how I feel about it. I've said it many a times, what I think should happen to them, what kind of people I think they are, how dumb, how lame, how pathetic, how obsessed, how needy, begging for attention type of people that they are. I've talked about all of that. So, but to defeat them, we really have to gain the knowledge. And everything they do is online. Everything they do has to do with computers. Okay, even if they're just sitting there with a mind control thing on their head and connected to a person somewhere unconsensually and receiving their neurological processes unconsensually, they've achieved all of this simply by having a computer system set up in a way that will allow them to access something online over the internet that is interconnected with a satellite broadcast system, okay? Not because they're mega genius scientists. They're not like the greatest hackers you've ever seen, or somebody showed them how to do this, okay? But it's not isolated to them. It's not special just for them. They're not like some secret agent that's only allowed to have it and we can't. We can also have it. And it's very important that we don't forget that what they do, we can also do. And for us to be on that pathway imprisons them in a situation where they must try forever for the remainder of their days to keep us from doing that, from achieving our goal. And our goal is to get neural monitoring so we can protect ourselves and our family. And so we can hold them accountable for the things that they've done to us. Now, how we're going to do that is, I think, by knowledge, by learning about things. And I think that computer science is probably the most important thing. If not, then physics with light spectrums and the different waveforms or wavelengths of light and how all of those can interact with certain things, broadcast technologies and different type of light spectrums and stuff like that. That's the two sides of it. That's the two sides of it. And right now, the side of it that I'm studying is computer science. And the classes have become important. When I'm reading these books and doing these lessons and learning about this stuff now, things are going off in my head. It's very much relatable to the things that I've experienced with them. And I really feel like you kind of have to start from the bottom and work your way through all of these things. Because if you start digging around in your source code or some sort of binary files or something, like you don't even know what you're looking at. And you swear you found this and that and this, and we've all done that. But we're not wrong. We're not wrong in the fact that we know we're looking for something and we know that we're on the right pathway. The problem is we're blind. We don't know even what we're looking at. And so until we can learn to see those things and have that knowledge, then it's not going to help to snoop around or dig into things. And it really requires patience. And you have to really understand that you're going to have to go through this long-term process. And even if you're dealing with artificial telepathy and some idiot screaming in a girl voice setting and putting his broadcast all over your face and acting like a little weirdo all day, every day, you still have to just get through that and go through this long-term process. And I promise you, it starts to hurt their feelings a little bit. It starts to mess with them because they start to have a doubt. You know, when I can sense that my gang stalkers are starting to have some doubt and some regret, now I feel like I'm making progress. Okay. And that's exactly what's happening. I feel like a lot of these gang stalkers are starting to have regret, but I deal with them personally all day, every day. And I can tell you that they're starting to have regret and doubt. And it's very much because of the pathway that I'm choosing, because they don't have a lot of options as far as winning. Because for them to win, it means I have to lose. And it's not looking very good for them anymore. Um, Let me talk about the some of the specifics about um, one of the classes that I'm taking right now is network fundamentals. It's like introduction to computer networks or something like that. And I know it sounds like very minuscule, like introduction and stuff like that, but that's really where it starts. And it's somewhat of an advanced class. It's one of the more difficult classes I've taken out of many computer classes at this point. But the way that a computer network operates is very important. And for example, okay, just to give you a real world example, there was a time when my iPad was linked in to their network. Okay, they had my device running through their network wirelessly from a long way away. And I know that because of the way that they had everything set up. I could find in a search all kinds of stuff related to like gang stalker, EMF broadcast stuff that would not come up in a typical Google search. Okay. And it has to do with the way that they have their everything configured, the way that they have a server client configuration where it doesn't matter. Like I knew somebody that when they became a gang stalker, I didn't know that's what happened at the time. But later, when I knew that they had become a gang stalker, the things that I learned before made sense, okay? And as they had became a gang stalker, they would go on to to Google or whatever, and before they would start doing whatever they're doing to search around the internet, they would log in to somebody else's server. And I didn't understand. I thought it was just some kind of secret protocol or something, just like in 2012, 2011, 2012. And it was like static PHP something. And then it would put them onto this gang stalker network. They were logging into some local person that they knew, some gang stalker person that had a server set up, configured as a web server to be able to host all of the gang stalker stuff and to give them a different level of search capabilities and internet capacity. Okay. And if you learn about networks and coding and HTML and back end stuff like PHP and the different network protocols, then a lot of the things that you've probably experienced will start to make sense more. I know it might sound like a lot, okay, but if it's something that interests you at all, I would recommend it, because you can go to college for a very, check the accreditation, make sure it's the real deal, but make sure it's also a local community college that doesn't cost a whole lot of money. If the accreditation is the same as UGA or Georgia Tech or something, like I'm using my big university or big time colleges that are around me as an example, but this little bitty college that I go to is the same accreditation as UGA. So I could transfer there and it's all legit, and and what you'll find too is when you start doing this stuff is that when you type something in on Google about it, like everybody around the country is taking the same classes as you, the same class, the same material when you're doing online classes, especially. And so the accreditation is important, but you can go for very minimal expense. And right from the beginning, they're going to teach you like you don't know anything. It's like, what is the internet? You know, what is a hard drive? And they start with this basic stuff, but after the first year or so, it starts to get more advanced. And coming into the third year, it's getting very much advanced, and it's going to get more and more advanced. And I feel like it's very helpful to me to have that understanding of those kind of things. And um, I would recommend it. You know, I would definitely recommend it if you're trying to get to the bottom of your gang stalking problem. What's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? You know, if you flunk out, it didn't cost you nothing. If you do very well, then what do you go get a 150K job? And then what? It's not a bad idea. You could take your time and do online classes and hybrid classes. And I think it's very important for all of us to have a deep understanding of physics and computer science, and also financial things and stuff like that. So I'm always preaching uh, these fundamental things that I think are so important now when I do my videos. But I think it's better than to sit here and tell you then these gang stalkers are attacking me with broad, because they are. But it's like, what would you rather hear about? The pathway to defeat them, or how horrible it is that they're hurting me so bad, or whatever? I mean, I'll tell you both. They're both true. So I'll tell you both. But, it's not my favorite thing to make these videos. But obviously, I've been doing it for many years because I feel like that it's important to put what I know out there for the people that don't know, especially considering how difficult it is in the beginning years, the first few years, when this starts to happen to you, when you become a victim of this stuff. The first few years are very difficult, and it can be very confusing. And I feel like it helps a lot of people to hear me talk about all of this stuff. And and a lot of my old videos are available, like probably 10,000 or more if you wanted to get the archive and all of that. But hundreds and hundreds of videos are public for everybody to see and to hear kind of my story and what happens with gang stalking. But it's documentation. They're forcing me to do it because they won't go away. They won't quit. It helps all of you guys. And I may not make as many videos. Sometimes I feel like I need to make them every day. And then sometimes I feel like I wish I didn't have to ever talk about this crazy stuff again. And I really have my own life and my own people and my own goals, and I'm very busy, and I have a lot that I want to accomplish. And and the older you get, the more you see what's important to you, and the things that are important to you when you're 20 are not going to be the same things that are important to you later. Straight up. I promise they won't. But if you're going through this gang stalking situation, my deepest sympathies. I've been going through this for a decade now. I've known about it extensively for most of that time. And it's probably been a little more than like 11 years, and I probably had a really good understanding of it for 8 or 9 of those years. And I've been talking about it publicly for probably 8 years. And so I wish I could do more for all of us, but maybe this is going to be more. Maybe it is going to be more. Maybe because the more I learn, and when it becomes a significant level, then I could pass that on. And that could be very damaging to this gang stalking culture and their way of life and the things that they do. And even if I'm not successful at doing that, I would hope that that my influence and my motivational videos, if you want to call them that, would be eventually maybe a partial contribution to the overall effort of victory against them. So I don't know really, but thank you guys for watching. I'll try to not stay gone so long next time. I really appreciate it. 10,500 and something, like almost 10,600 subscribers now, and millions and millions of views on my videos. And you guys have no idea how much I've appreciated all of the support over the years. And I promise I will never go away forever. I will always be back eventually, but I can't promise y'all do videos every day. But try to do as much as you can to make your life better and to gain more knowledge. It really is the only way. Thank you for watching.